WROK.
Good morning, everybody. Dave Schmidt along with Matt Nestor and producer Tom Warner. We're going to shift gears, and we're going to talk about some basketball stuff, but it's more about real life and about how you handle situations and about some real strong young lady, but a conference and a school that has really backed her. We're talking right now. We're going to be talking with Commissioner Chris Ragsdale. He's the commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. I'm real familiar with that. I lived in the Ohio area, so I know about Defiance and Bluffton. But, Chris, what a great thing you guys have been doing over there in the HCAC, and I was just really thrilled to see that you guys named Laurel Hill first team recently, and welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Dave. I really appreciate having the opportunity to be with you this morning, and certainly get a chance to talk a little bit about the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference and certainly Laurel Hill. So I'm pleased to be with you.
Just how inspiring is her story? I mean, there would be. I don't think anybody would look down on her if she just kind of went into a shell in that kind of a situation. Just how inspiring is it for her to be able to take on, such a really an inspiring leadership role?
Well, it has been. Her story is incredible, and she really has served to be, an inspiration to all of us. I think that her presence and her ability to persevere, the courage that she's shown throughout all of this has really been remarkable. And I just, I think it shows what a common person can achieve when faced with truly adverse circumstance. She really has just been incredible.
She's got pediatric brain cancer. They didn't think she would make it past Christmas, and so they moved the game back, the first game at the Cintas Center, I think down in Cincinnati. She goes to Mount St. Joseph, that's outside of Cincinnati. She made that first basket. There was all kind of hoopla. But I'll tell you what, she has done a wonderful job. She's raised over $1 million for that, for her foundation. And she also is still with us, and she's still very positive and promoting it. How does that help you as a commissioner look at the way you look at athletics now in the HCAC?
Well, there's no question. I mean, I think she, in a lot of ways, is very emblematic of what the Division III student athlete is all about, and what our experience represents. Meaning that, certainly competition is important, the desire to win, but we take on a broader perspective when we look at the whole person and what our experience offers to young people in terms of growth experiences and opportunities, and just what she has been able to do in terms of representing herself, her community, the institution, and obviously serving as a wonderful ambassador for this. The foundation that she has used, the Cure Starts Now, has just been incredible. No question.
Obviously, given the situation, and the choice is a no-brainer, but take us a little bit behind the thought process and giving her that first-team all-conference honor and how that kind of came about.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you asking the question because, as you say, I mean, it's a no-brainer, but at the same time, you can look at a lot of different situations and think that, people might not have really gotten behind this at a different level. Yep. There were a lot of things that had to happen. I mean, it started with a relationship with Mount St. Joseph and Hiram College. That basketball game was scheduled to be played with our first starting date, November 15th. And so, first of all, to move the date to November 2nd, which meant that really both teams had only had a week of practice. The second thing is that the game was originally to be played at Hiram College. So you had Hiram College giving up a home game for the opportunity for Lauren to play for her team in Mount St. Joseph at home. And then with the attention that all of this attracted on a national level, immediately for Xavier University to step up and offer the Cintas Center as an available facility in Cincinnati. That had to happen. The NCAA and what they were able to do. And again, there wasn't a hesitation on their part, but by Division III rules, we are not allowed to play our first basketball contest until the 15th of November. And so that had to be approved. So a lot of things had to fall in place, but again, there was such a cooperative and understanding and supportive effort by all involved that it really almost seemed seamless. So, great effort by everyone.
We're talking with Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference Commissioner Chris Ragsdale. He lives in, I think it's Greenwood, right, Indiana? That's where you're at?
Our offices are located in Greenwood. That's exactly right. We're about 16 miles straight south of downtown Indianapolis.
And you also look at this. You gave her the HCAC Inspiration Award. I don't think too many years you have an Inspiration Award that really has meant as much as this one has this year, has it, Chris?
Without question. I think, we certainly wanted to do the right thing. And I think just in this effort, both with the award that we presented her at the beginning of the year in terms of our conference's Inspiration Award, but also in naming her first team all-conference here at the end of the year. It felt like the right thing to do, to recognize her and show, our appreciation and recognize her courage and leadership, certainly in a most difficult circumstance.
Her courage has obviously been amazing, especially in her fundraising efforts and things like that. But what about some of the support she's gotten, maybe from some of the other teams in the conference and things like that, is trying to lift her up, even though maybe they're rivals on the court, but trying to support her through this situation?
Oh, absolutely. It's the outpouring has been phenomenal. Going back to the first game of the year, because it was really played at a time before our other teams were playing, every one of our women's basketball teams, the 9 other teams in our conference, the head coaches were present at the game along with anywhere from 6 to 10 of the athletes from each of their teams. You mentioned earlier the Inspiration Award that we presented to her. There was a private ceremony that we all had with Lauren after the ball game, and each one of our athletes had an opportunity to meet her, speak with her briefly. That was it was a great experience for all those young people. But then going into the season, every time that one of our teams, and the non-league teams too, which was so impressive, were playing Mount St. Joseph University, the women would all be wearing, as a part of their warm-up attire, gray T-shirts, with things like layups for Lauren and 22, which was her playing number, and has served to kind of represent her and her efforts. And this has all been just a tremendous outpouring of support and appreciation for what she represents.
Thanks so much, Chris, for being on today. You're the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference Commissioner. I know there's been a lot of attention, but your HCAC is a great conference. Like I said, I lived in Salina. I don't know if you've ever been in there, Ohio, but it's near Bluffton and Defiance and Anderson and all those schools. Just great quality D3 schools. And you guys have really gone up about 4 or 5 notches on my I love you guys list. How's that sound?
Well, we really appreciate it. And as I say, it's this is really about her.
Yes.
And, sometimes just doing the right thing. I'm humbled by the attention that we've received, but certainly it's about Lauren. So we appreciate the opportunity to be with you this morning. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Chris, and hopefully we'll talk to you down the road. You never know. Some good things might happen too, right?
Would certainly look forward to the opportunity. Dave, Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've been talking to Chris Ragsdale. He's the commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. We look at basketball, the do's and the don'ts, and the bad things that happen. But this is one really good thing that came out of basketball that's turned into real-life positivity.
Well, and we kind of talked about it. It all seems like a no-brainer, and he's, really made it seem like, it's just doing the right thing. But he kind of touched on it. so many of these things, we see how serious, these coaches and players, take the all-conference teams and things like that. And for everybody to kind of come together and be okay with something like that. Again, it sounds like a no-brainer, sounds like it makes sense, but to get everybody on the same page for that is impressive. And it's obviously impressive, everything that she's been able to do in the situation she's been given.
I know she's inspired me. She's inspired a lot of people, and we all pray for Lauren Hill that God will take care of her as she goes through this process, and her family.
Yep, certainly.
I can't imagine what they've been going through.
Yeah, and I think she's done more than enough to be able to be taken care of that way.
We're going to take a time out. We'll be back with more of the State Line Sports Hour right here on News Talk 1440 WROK.